Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Like I say, sorry I didn't do a live stream last night. Like I say, I wanted to. But I think, as I've said before to my Pony Club members, technically I'm at a world conference all this week. It's being broadcast from Hong Kong, and we had a full day yesterday in GA, or what we call General Assembly, and the GA went on for some time, and I'd basically been sat there in front of my computer for most of the day, listening to the arguments and watching the fun of a General Assembly, especially in and around constitutional changes. And if anyone else is from that, Crowban, a notification, boom, boom, boom. Good morning, Crowban. But yes, it's been fun. Like I say, I haven't done any of the events. Like I say, I've mainly been focusing on Jay Clint, good morning, Crowban. What day is it? What day is it indeed? Oh, it's a Thursday. Like I say, because I was going to do a live stream yesterday, but hang on, squelch, squelch, squelch. Oh. There we go. Getting through most of it. So there we go. See, this is the part now where we head towards winter. It's just all complete mud now. It's like, ugh. But yes, welcome to the Thursday Good Morning Walk. Like I say, I hope you're going to be happy about what we got coming up today and what we're going to be talking about today. Well, do we go through the cow field today? I tell you what, now we'll go a different way today. At least we'll see if we can take it a different way. Actually, no, I think we can. I think we should be all right. Yeah, I think we should be all right. Just walking through the field. Yeah, no, I tell you what, we'll go. Oh, do we go that way? Oh, decisions. Tell you what, we'll go this way. Or at least we'll try and go in this way. Because I've wanted to go this way for quite a while. The only thing is, it'll mean climbing over the fence. And we'll see how successful we are climbing over the fence. Do a courtesy, be reckless. That's the plan. Ben, good morning to you. Yes, it is Thursday. Welcome. All right, now, how do we get over this? This is the question. Then I think it is straight up and across. Oh. Hey! There we go. Up and over. Easy as that. But yes, we are expecting some news regarding inflation today. The Bank of England is going to come out and probably raise interest rates from what we suspect today, or at least what most people are saying. So that's going to have a very big knock-on effect today. So that'll be probably coming this afternoonish, I think, when that hits. But yeah, that's just a case of just waiting to see when the bank comes out and says what they're doing. But no doubt that will have important implications. Jake, look, the Fed just raised interest rates there. I'm not surprised. I think that's going to happen everywhere. But oh my word, one of the things I am really shocked about, obviously you've got is it the midterm elections next week? And yeah, good luck. Because you've got a lot of Trump candidates who, from what I've heard, if they lose, they are going to refuse to concede the election. And we saw, obviously, the results of what happened back on January the 6th. And a lot of people don't realise, or in some cases don't know, that I think it was a couple of weeks before January the 6th, there was a very similar attempt, or something very similar happened. I think it was, I want to say Michigan, but I'm not 100% certain that it was. A very similar event happened in one of the local state houses. So, yeah, things could get very interesting very quickly. Certainly for a lot of people in America. So, good luck. Good luck. But yeah, America's getting crazy over there. I mean, you've got all the, like, you know, the Paul Pelosi stuff. That in itself is a bit shocking, and you know, I think this is where we go. This is where we go. So that's why you follow British politics. Yeah. Who needs to follow American politics when you can follow British politics, you know? the sane version of politics. Now, I've never been this way, so you'll have to excuse me if we get a bit lost, but I think we go this way. So this is somewhere new for us to go. It seems some Democrats have been landing some solid hits. Well, yeah, we'd hope so. I mean, oh, Paul, good morning to you. Good morning, comrade. Oh. I'm just headed down here. I just want to see what's down in this direction. We may have to go in a completely different direction, but I don't know. We'll find out. Like I say, it's a new adventure. It's a new adventure. No, we don't know where we're going. I know roughly where we are, but I'm not sure where to go, if that makes sense. So I don't think we can go this way. Oh no, we could. I do see some boot marks. We could go this way. I'm not sure. Oh. Hello. got a guest. What are you trying to do, boy? I'm trying to get through. Right. So, I think we go this way. But yeah, that was fun. Nice intervention there by a horse. All right. We're going somewhere new. Going somewhere. Yeah, carrot chunks are the bribe of choice. Maybe so. Maybe that's what he was. Maybe he was the gatekeeper. He was the gatekeeper on that, definitely. Unfortunately, corporate Democrats have been campaigning on gender, sexuality, and abortion. However, during the cost of living crisis, those issues don't get votes. Certainly, I think abortion. I wasn't surprised if abortion was going to be an issue for you in America this year, because it is under no doubt that if the Republicans do get control of both houses, then you could be looking at potentially a federal abortion ban, which would obviously be very, very bad. But oh, hang on, we left the path and we're going back to it. Which is obviously going to be very, very bad. But that is unfortunately what is on the cards if they do end up sort of winning. And I'm not 100% sure what the polls are like for that. It could be, things could be about to get very interesting in America. Abortion is 8th place among polled voters. That's quite surprising, because I would have thought that would have become more of an issue. Yeah, maybe we should just continued on that way. Oh no, I've been hit. Latest FU by the Tories, dumping the Manson migrants. Yes, that was on the news yesterday. For those of you who haven't heard, for some reason, the migrants that they have at the Manson camp were dumped in London with what? This is such a weird way. Sorry about this, but this is such a weird way to go. I'm trying to work out which way to go because I've never been this way before. But yeah, they were just dumped in London for no apparent reason. And even they can't work out why. But they had to be helped out by like British Transport Police, and a passing charity worker had to help them out. So yeah, that's certainly going to cause a lot of questions about whatever it is the Tories are up to regarding this. But Chthonic, good morning to you. John, good morning to you. But yeah, the asylum system, which the Tories have completely broken. HMSQ, hello, good morning to you. The asylum system, which the Tories have completely broken, is on them. They've got no one else. This is hilarious. Whenever Suella Braverman comes out and says, "Yeah, the asylum system's broken," well, you've been the ones in charge of it for the past 13 years now. At what point does it, become your fault? Oh, there we go. So you'll notice I've been posting a lot of stats really recently about immigration. Oh, now which way do we go? Oh, both look as bad as each other. This is where we try and cross the bog and then we get stuck. Well, let's go this way. That's better. This is quite solid. And yeah, it's this way. This way. That's where I get attacked by the bog monster or the triffid. There we go. There we go, made it. Made it. This will cause a recession next year. Oh, is this the Bank of England stuff? FSM, yeah, probably will. Yeah, although I've said before, I'm surprised we're not in a recession already. This is it. Trying to cross there. Maybe we'll scout on a bit further. We'll scout on a bit further because there should be a better crossing for us. Further up, as they say, onwards and upwards. This way. Like I say, it's a new adventure for us today. I don't know where we're going. I know roughly where we are and the area we're in, but I've never been this way before, so this is all new. Hi, Chunks, good morning to you. What clogs do I have on? I've got my wellies on. Mithril, good morning to you. The point of the Tories is the party of personality or personal responsibility. It's just like the US Republicans. That's it, just never trust them. Well, they've become... I'd actually be interested because, Jay, I know you've said you're from America. But even I know that if you looked at our Tories, you'd probably see a lot of similarities between them. But I don't know if you'd fully identify them as like completely full-on Republican, because I don't think our Conservative Party has gone that fully wacky doodle yet. Don't rule the Tories out winning under Rishi. Well, good luck holding the red wall. Good luck Rishi holding the red wall. That's for certain. There we go. This is it. I'm just looking at, should we say, following the most well-trodden path. Moment. Oh, squirrel. But yes, it's in terms of politics, I think it's all going to get quite interesting now, because as I've said before, I think there's going to be a big November crisis happen. And obviously this is all sort of the cost of living, the energy stuff, all hitting together. And I described it before, it's like Kaplunk. You know, if you ever played Kaplunk, it's all the needles holding marbles at the top, and you try and pull sort of the needles out. And the ways you can play Kaplunk are either, whoever wins has the less balls at the end, or most, depending which way you want to play it. And it's very much like that. You know, we've been removing needles, and so far we've gotten very, very lucky. But it's when does it all come down and go kaplunk? That's the real question. When does it all go kaplunk? And I know people, I think it was FSM said recession next year. I think recession this year still. I'm very surprised we aren't in one now, to be honest, with how things bad are going. But when that hits, and that will hit hard, it's really, where do things go from then? And when that starts to happen, well, we've got some real big problems then, because how do you solve the problems of recession? And I think the Tories are going to use that to justify even more going for, oh, I know we'll be on now. Going for even more hardcore measures when it comes to the economy. So we've got a number of certainly big flashpoints coming up, but it's just when do they hit, how do they hit, and more importantly, what happens when it all goes kaplunk, as we said before. Oh, there you go. another pony for you, though not as inquisitive as the last one. Well, let's squid through here. There we go. And I know where I am. I know where I am now. Right. Question is, which way? Should we go back on ourselves? Or do we go back the long way around? So we'll go back on ourselves, I think. Whoops, a daisy. Because my big worry is, I come back and the cows are all pummeled into the tunnel and I can't get through. And then I have to come back the long way, which will be really annoying. But it is, I think, certainly coming up with the next election, we have seen a lot of Tories trying out the anti-immigrant rhetoric, especially following on from Suella Braverman. Ratapalooza. Raspulia? Oh, the most. Yeah, lots of mud today, so you'll have to excuse me if I can't read your chats. Like I said, I've got to try and make sure I stay upright in all this mud. But we've been a new way, so that was good. So it's a new pathfinding mission, but somewhere good for us to go and have an adventure on. That's for certain. And then once again, I'm back into GA today. That's General Assembly for doing my deputy duties. Because, and I've been elected now as president officially as JCI UK. So that happened that's last week as well. So, yeah, the responsibility is now on. I'm already getting messages from other European presidents congratulating me and talking about what stuff we can do next year, which will be quite fun. But yes, that means I'll be off to next year, Bucharest, for the European Conference in Romania. So I'm looking forward to going there because somewhere I've never been before. but somewhere that, again, historically, and I've said before, I like my history, so I'm looking forward to getting out there. And they're the World Conference. Like I say, this year it's in Hong Kong, but it's online. Well, I think for more COVID reasons, I think they've shut down a lot of places. It's in Zurich, so that'll be good. So that'll be fun, like I say, as always. But yes, we'll probably bring you some interesting places, at least next year. You know, a good morning walk from Bucharest, or even Zurich in Switzerland, I think will be quite fun. Oh yes, actually, that's the other thing as well. The Albanian Prime Minister this morning has hit back. The Australian Prime Minister has hit back at, not the Australian Prime Minister, the Albanian Prime Minister, sorry. Let's get the right country. The Albanian Prime Minister has hit back at Suella Braverman. Let's get it right. let's get everyone in the right position. But then again, Cabinet has been musical chairs for the past couple of years. It could be Priti Patel all over again very soon. But yes, after, like I say, Suella Braverman's drastic attempt to try and save herself, reaching towards some very, very anti-immigration rhetoric, which is why I've been posting, and myself doing a lot of research on this, because I highly suspect that the next general election, the Tories are going to break out that rhetoric in a very hardcore way, especially the right-wing Tories. That's absolutely certain. Oh, squelch, what squelch indeed. But yes, one of the things that obviously he said is, look, don't go using this hateful rhetoric, and discriminating, against Albanians. Don't blame us for your failed policy. Which it is. I mean, there's a chart floating around, and two very interesting charts that it shows you. There's one that shows you the actual arrivals, and then the other one just shows you the backlog since 2015 that the Tories have created. And we've always mentioned this when this happens. This always goes back to essentially this all goes back to when the Tories basically defunding these systems. Like, they've defunded the entire court system. And what's happened with the court system? Well, you've got a massive backlog of cases going all the way back to 2017, backed up in the courts. And that's just what happens when you defund sort of the judicial system. So what happens when you defund the asylum system in the same way? So, yeah, it's not good. So this is one of those things of where it's very clearly been Tory policy to essentially break the asylum system on purpose. And I think Labour should definitely be calling them out of that. Yeah, libertarian playbook. Tear up the regs, defund the government. Yep. Oh, Tesseract, good morning to you. Good morning. But yeah, it's very, very worrying the fact that this came up. And I think there was another Tory who came out, and bear in mind, just days ago, we've had an attempted, what is a terrorist attack, let's call it what it is, on an asylum centre. And then the Muppet from the Tory party goes on live TV and then goes and says which hotel some of these migrants are staying in. Yeah, amazing idea, wonderful idea. Seriously, there's some people in the Tory party that if they had a brain cell, they might actually be genuinely quite dangerous. But yeah, it's just so stupid to all this. And, there's, the refugees and all these asylum seekers are coming in, it's tiny. It's not a problem. It really isn't. What we are seeing, especially with people complaining out, they can't see NHS, they can't get, social housing or, housing itself. It has been essentially a problem of policy by the Tories for years. That is what is really the case. And they know it, and they're desperately trying to solve all this out. But it comes down to a lot of problems, I think, and it does all come back to the fact that the Tories are in power. And we have to hope that the next general election, they get absolutely curb stomped. Because they really do not deserve to be in power any longer, to be honest. They're well and truly out of steam and out of ideas. And one of the things we can hope for, I've said it every single time, we can really change the entire British political system if we can do either both, or maybe at least one of the systems, and that is, of course, reform the voting system for the House of Commons, change that to a PR system, or we can completely, radically reform the House of Lords and change that into a House of Regional Representatives. Again, done by PR. That will also drastically change British politics. So I would hope, with the fact that PR did get past, obviously, the vote at the Labour conference, that we could actually change these things. So that's at least the aim and, like I say, the goal. But it is about sort of changing it all so that we can achieve these aims and systems. And I do believe that PR is really a big driver now. I think people have more than ever just seen how much we need to change, especially the asylum system. Well, not only just the asylum system, but the voting system as well. It needs fixing desperately. It needs funding. The court system needs funding. Just so much of it needs help. We are in I'm just a bit worried now because some of the cows seem to be doing a bit of a run. I'm just going to go over here because I don't want them to go charging. At least charging me. I wonder. I think we might be able to. Maybe nip under here. Are they moving down? Oh no, I hope they are not. I was looking for those two cows earlier. Hopefully, they shouldn't be in the tunnel. If they are, that's going to make getting out fun. Right, do we go under the fence? Or do we go around it? Tell you what, let's go around it. Let's see if we can go round. I think we should be able to get through pretty safely. Oh, lost. Catch a train. Do we jump? Do we risk it? It's a bit of both, really. It's not just sloppy conditions. It's the cows in the field. That's all. Just causing those conditions. So it's a bit interesting. Yeah, good for views. Right. Speak softly and carry a cattle prod. Right, tell you what, here we go. Wish me luck. Oh! Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it. We did it. Oh. Congrats, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I missed out on my my acrobatic talents. Never will they be recognised. Now, of course, the biggest question of all, what happened to those two cows that were up there? The question is, where have they gone? I don't think they're in the tunnel. I can't see them in the tunnel. So at least they're not there. That's good. So I think we're clear. The drama, it's like Logan's Run. This is, it's a really low budget version of Logan's Run. That's how we like to do things. It's British entertainment at its best. Oh. But yes, we are through and we are clear. RC. Starmer's gone back on all his pledges, I think you were saying there. Hang on, before it went. Including restoring freedom of movement. He might, again, we've said this before about Starmer, when it comes to this. It's very politically good for him, not at the moment to advocate fully rejoining, but to essentially reform some of those close relationships. There we are. Morning.
Morning.
That is the the big key takeaway from all this because if you can say, well, look, Boris's deal's really bad, we're going to have to go do some, closer deals, then eventually you come to the point of, well, why aren't we in the single market customs union? And to be honest, a lot of pro-European people, as I've said before, while we do want to advocate for, completely rejoining, I think it comes to the question that we're going to have to do this in stages. Because that is the way that it seems to be going. Great escape. Yeah, Johnson was the change they wanted, but sure wasn't the change they needed. Yeah, very true. I mean, there was is it John Harrington? Morning. Is it John Harrington from one of the writers from The Guardian? He did a lot of video for them. And I think he summed it up, and I think it works perfectly. I think a lot of these places that voted Tory for the very first time wanted change, and that's why they voted, for Brexit and for Johnson, because that was being promised as change. And if you've ever been to north of England, you can see just how really bad it is in some of these places. But this is because of years of Tory austerity. And unfortunately, Johnson was, as I've said before, Johnson has many, many personality flaws, but from someone else who is a public speaker, I can say that Johnson is a good public speaker. He's also a very good storyteller. And like I say, he told a good enough story to convince the masses. Now, of course, he never actually intended to follow through with any of that. Like I say, levelling up just went completely by the by. But this is, as we've said before, a really good opportunity for Starmer. And Mithril, as you said, we've got, me and Phil have both got more faith in Starmer. Well, that's, as I've said before, you get more done in politics with hope than you can with negativity. And it is about pushing Starmer to do the things we want. So I know there's been a big hoo-ha recently about a lot of people on the left not being selected or being cancelled out, which is, I find, really bad, because I think that in a negative knee-jerk reaction to try and sort of get rid of sort of like the Corbyn elements from the party, he's going to go too far. And as we've said before, Labour cannot win currently under this system, because you've got to remember, the other thing we always say, you cannot win in the UK, and Labour can't win. It can't win without the left, and it can't win at least without the 15% of the vote coming from centrists. And like it or not, that is the current system. And the fact that, Labour is doing so well in the polls at the moment, I think is a good thing. Obviously, Sunak is getting a bit of a bump because, holiday period and all that. But like I say, challenges will indeed soon come. But the budget is almost going to be certainly one, and we'll see how, the Tory poll numbers do sort of when the budget hits home. But I highly suspect his numbers are going to certainly be taking a tank when those numbers do come in. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I see a lot of people voting Green because of Starmer. Well, here's the thing. A Green Party, always, they've done very well at local elections, but they've never, ever been able to transfer that into a winning vote. Especially when it comes to sort of general elections, I don't think they've, unless you've got, Caroline Lucas. And to be honest, I think the Greens really need to think drastically about it. Really do. I think Lucas needs to go run in a different seat, and then they put another Green candidate up in her seat. I really think they do. What they need to do, they can't think too small about it. But like I say, the only way to beat the Tories is to vote Labour and to vote tactically at the next general election. And unfortunately, voting Green the next general election, it's going to be a bit of a wasted vote. Like it or not, it's true. Unless they can seriously build some momentum, and they haven't got that momentum behind them, certainly like the Lib Dems have got at the moment. I mean, it's very, very likely they will win, I think, some big Tory seats down south at the next general election. Very, very likely. And the way they were looking at the polls at the moment, it's very likely that Labour's going to win the Red Wall. Yeah, exactly, Thoric. Yep. Vote Green once we've got PR. That needs to be, really, there's a lot of people who are like really disappointed in sort of our voting system. Then they need to really motivate themselves to get out and start campaigning for PR and get those across. And once you get PR across, then you can start voting for a Green party. But so yeah, it all comes down to, like I say, general election. Will we have one this year? It depends how, shall we say, stable Rishi Sunak's very shaky foundations for his government are. But I think we could very likely see a general election next year. I very think we could see a general election next year. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for joining me today on this Thursday morning good walk. Like I say, thank you very much. Like I say, I've got a General Assembly to get to. Like I say, it was fun yesterday, so it's going to be fun again today. But yes, thank you very much for coming along for this walk. Went a bit of a different direction than we went before, so I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, we had some fun adventures, and yeah, we'll see you all on Saturday for a good morning walk. And yeah, we'll see you then.